many years ago, probably in the 80s, Margaret McCurry's father, Paul McCurry, who was an architect, was involved with the NCRB and basically was the governing person for the state examination at that time to become a registered architect. He asked me to grade the architecture design part of it at that time, in the 80s. And I want to tell you, at that time, the stuff I saw was so horrific. Virtually all of it. First of all, nobody could draw. Nobody could letter. I mean, if you looked at the stuff, you think, did these guys go through architecture school? It was shocking. Forget design. Yes, the design was crap, but they couldn't draw, they couldn't letter. So now you have a machine that you input something and out comes a perfect appearing drawing with perfect appearing lettering, right? That doesn't say anything about you at all. Zero. You're inputting information and it comes out perfect. And it's fabulous as a tool, make no mistake. I love it. This house I'm working on, in 2 seconds is going to be given to a kid. He'll put it on the computer, he'll come back, it'll be perfect. I'll make a gazillion changes. 2 seconds later, I'll bring it back, it'll also be perfect. So the machine turns out these beautiful looking things. But that doesn't mean that the person making the stuff knows what beauty is. That's for sure. So, I mean, obviously, my predilection is toward drawing. Now, it turns out if you spend what in my case is some 65 years or more of drawing, of course I can draw. I can draw beautifully, I can letter perfectly. But that's to be expected. I've been doing it all my life. You wouldn't ask Arnold Palmer to play tennis. It's what I do. My problem with the machine, I know this is a fact, is that you look at the stuff coming out today. I mean, was just on juries at Yale, arguably a good school. And the stuff was just okay in terms of design. It all looked perfect, in terms of line weight, lettering, and so forth. But the young people working on it had no clue. So I'm not so sure. Because now you can turn out stuff that looks perfect, but is it perfect? So it really depends. Obviously, you programs like Rhino or whatever, you can do anything. You can rotate things. Topologically, it's spectacular, no doubt. Even, for example, in Margaret McCurry's case, since her work is simplistically symmetrical, let's say. What's on the left is on the right. So the machine is perfect for that. She only has to draw what's on the left, the machine just dupes it, and it comes out perfectly. So, and she loves it. But he asked a question, Mr. Technology over there with the video. Am I going to learn this stuff? No, I'm too old now. I do what I do. But the office turns out fabulous looking stuff. But the amount of time that we have to put in, as we have always had to put in, to turn it into what we consider good design. So, what is good design? There are things, that's why you have things like the AIA, to premiate it. So if you don't publish your work, if you don't win awards, if you don't build, what are you doing? There are methods there by which we can measure each other. We give each other awards for what we think, a jury thinks, is good work. But I'm not sure, the stuff I'm talking about, like aura, the unstated, unspeakable in architecture, is something that is not so easy to come by. Not so easy as to input stuff into a machine. So if you learn BIM, does it assure you that it's going to be a terrific building? I don't think so.